Hi and welcome to the Geek Legion of Doom, and this is my third update video for my Marvel collection. So at the beginning of the year I actually did a video showing my entire Marvel collection up until that point, and I've done two previous update videos which I've done every quarter, and this is my third one. So this is going to be from July 2014 until the end of September 2014. I'm going to show you what goodies I have got within that time. Now, with this particular one, I've actually got mostly new releases. We've had two new films that have been out on the Blu-ray and DVD within that time. So I've got mainly new releases, and there are a couple of other ones. So let's have a quick look about what I've got. I'm going to go in alphabetical order. The first thing we're going to have a look at here is the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Now, I haven't actually got the box set yet of the actual TV show. It's been released in America, but not within the UK. But what I have got is this... almost like a taster DVD, and basically it's just a small sort of card sleeve, and basically this was, I believe, like it's got 3 episodes on it, and it was essentially like a screener that was sort of given to like a promotional use, really, to given to people to sort of watch the TV show, I guess, to sort of get an idea about what it's like, something to do with the award season. Anyway, so this has got 3 seasons on it. Episode 1, the pilot. Episode 6, however you say that, and then episode 17, Turn, Turn, Turn. So it's a little bit of an interesting novelty sort of DVD to get. As I say, not the most interesting of cases perhaps, but nonetheless it's a little bit of an interesting one to get. So that is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Moving on to Amazing Spider-Man 2. So the first item I'm going to show you here is the Steelbook. Now, you've probably seen this a number of times in different unboxing videos. So this is the HMV exclusive Steelbook. At least here it is in the UK. So as you can see, mine's obviously sealed up. Now, one of the things I do like about this particular Steelbook is the heavy embossing that it's got. I know that a lot of people criticise this for having the kind of the borders, like big fat black borders, but I actually quite like it. And I do really like the kind of the heavy embossing with the kind of the eye and the kind of the webbing around the eye. I think it's quite nice. Now, as I've mentioned, this is an exclusive to HMV in the UK at least, but other countries basically it's available in various different retailers. Nonetheless, though, I actually do quite like the Steelbook, despite the fact that the film is not stellar. Another Blu-ray release from the UK. This one is actually a exclusive to the supermarket Sainsbury's. Now, what we got here is you have a copy of the Blu-ray, and you actually get a Lego sort of Spiderman Key Ring. So it's obviously sealed up, but there it is. It's the kind of the Lego Spiderman Key Ring in there. So a little bit different, in a kind of nice display box, I have to say, with obviously kind of different artwork on there. It's quite nice. From the States, I've got this Magneto Pack. Now, this is an exclusive to Best Buy. There's actually 2 versions of this. You can get the Blu-ray one, which has got the DVD and digital copy. There's also a 3D Blu-ray one, which I believe is 3 discs. This one's 2. And this essentially kind of opens up like a bit like a gatefold digipack or something along the lines of that. But it is actually magnetised, so it's actually quite a weighty item. You can actually get European versions of this as well. I think Germany had one it's a slightly different kind of outer packaging on it, but it's more or less the same. I may get that at some point. And apparently this is like the big thing now, to have these kind of the Magneto packs. Again, mine's kind of sealed up, so I won't be opening it up. The 3D one is essentially the same, other than the fact that it's got kind of yellow on the spine, basically. And obviously it's got an extra disc on it, being 3D. So that is the Magneto Pack. What I do like is Spider-Man's kind of got these sort of silver eyes, which is kind of reflective, quite like that. So Germany actually have what's called the Lightning Box, which is actually a little bit bigger than I thought it was going to be when I sort of saw it in the pictures and stuff like that. And got the same sort of picture as the Magneto Pack there, but obviously this is actually quite a chunky box set. Now what you've actually got is a little switch here that depresses, and what would happen is this lights up, but you have to put batteries in it. Now, unlike, say, the Best Buy one, where it kind of illuminates for the Avengers, for example, I'm talking about the Avengers box set, where you press a button and it kind of lights up for an immediate time. This actually you have to properly press, and then it will stay depressed. So basically the light sort of stays on the whole time, and that's why it's not plugged in, because otherwise it would just run out of batteries. So you know, you could turn it on, but it would essentially stay on until you literally sort of turned it off, ultimately kind of using up all the battery. So you know, there it is. But basically, I think you get some extra kind of like paperwork and kind of postcards, that sort of thing with it, along with the Blu-ray, the bonus disc, and the ultraviolet copy as well. But it's quite a nice little box. I actually quite like it. I think the Electro head statue gets kind of quite a lot of press, so to speak, and this one is a little bit forgotten about. Coming back to the UK, we have another exclusive from a different supermarket, this one being Asda. Now, Asda is actually owned by Walmart from the US, so I don't actually think you had this in Walmart. I think you had something else, which I've yet to get, which has got like some kind of book or something with it. But this actually has a kid's mask with it, which is kind of fun, I suppose. Now, it does say it is actually for a kid's size. I think it's like, yeah, from ages 4 to 8. So it's not going to be very big. So obviously this is a kind of package more meant for kids than anything. It's a DVD copy rather than a Blu-ray, but nonetheless I think it's still quite fun. Obviously displayed in quite a nice sort of little box set there. Not a little bad little package there. I don't think it's the same price as a regular DVD as well. I'll point out this one. Okay, I have actually mentioned this one before. This is actually the Electro head box set. This one is a German version basically. And what you've got here is a 3-disc box with, you know, I have to say I do like the artwork, and as you can probably see here, you get a statue, or almost like a bust really, of Electro, who is the main bad guy for the movie, played by Jamie Foxx. I'll show you a better picture in just a second. And essentially that kind of opens up to essentially store the 3 discs. Now again, mine is sealed, so I won't be opening it up. I have to say, I mean, a lot of people criticise this for it being looking quite plastic. I actually think it's got quite a good likeness, I have to say. So I actually don't mind it. I think it's quite a good little package. There is another sort of statue that you can get with, I think it's a Spanish one, which has got Spider-Man and Electro fighting. I haven't actually got that one yet. Couldn't afford to order it in 1 month, so perhaps next month. So that may be on the next update video if I decide to get that. So that is the Electro head box set for Amazing Spider-Man 2. Okay, so we'll move on to Captain America, the Winter Soldier, and I've got quite a few copies of this to go through. So this is your basic, standard UK version, 3D version I should say at least, and this one's got a slipcase, 2 discs, and the slipcase itself has kind of got a semi kind of foiled finish, because it kind of gives it a kind of like a metallic sort of finish to it, which looks kind of quite nice. Now when we get to the good stuff, in America, I believe this was a retailer exclusive, and they actually had, I think it was 6 separate slipcases that all were exclusive to the retail. I think this was Target, I want to say. So this is one of them basically. Now there you go. So it's the same picture underneath. What I want to point out here is the actual cover is the same picture, but you've basically got Captain America with his hood on, or his mask on, compared to the British one, the standard one, which is the same pose, and you can notice the same background and everything, just with the mask off. So that is the one of the exclusive sleeves from the, I'm sure it's Target, it could be Best Buy though. This one is going to be my favourite out of the exclusives there, and this obviously featuring the Winter Soldier himself. And I have to say, really good embossing on this one. It's I don't know how well you will see that. There you go. But if you can see the kind of the light sort of reflecting on it, there's loads of detail on it. All the kind of creases of his trousers and stuff like that. You know, lovely. But the actual art on the actual box is just the same. Next up we have Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow, and again she's got her exclusive sleeve. So anyone kind of wanting a Black Widow movie, you can just pretend with this particular sleeve. We also have a different sort of picture of Cap. This one kind of looking quite sort of mournful, so to speak, looking down there. I actually quite like this picture of Captain America, I have to say. It's quite a good pose, quite like it. Once again, you've got the standard Blu-ray picture underneath, however. The Falcon is the next exclusive, and again this one's quite heavily embossed. See how, if you can catch the light, there you go, give you an idea. So you can see the detail there that it's got embossed. You know, again, Falcon, a great addition to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and you know, a really good character in his own right, and actually quite well deserving, I would say, of his own little sleeve here. So quite happy with that. And then finally, for the exclusive sleeves from this particular retailer, you have, of course, Nick Fury, played by Samuel L. Jackson. Obviously, there are a couple of characters, but you don't have Alexander Pierce, who is, spoiler, the main bad guy. But here is Nick Fury's one. Moving over to Korea, this is a kind of limited edition release from Korea. Obviously, with a kind of a variant of the artwork. There's actually a couple of these. I'm going to show you another one of these similar in a minute. This is just the standard Amaray version, but it's got that kind of sort of the 70s political thriller style artwork here, which I have to say is my favourite out of the Captain America covers. On to the steelbooks. So this is your basic steelbook for the Europe. Okay, so this is the UK one, and this one was exclusive to Zavvi. Now this one was limited to 4,000 copies. Within the UK, this was the lowest amount ever produced for a Marvel movie. So 4,000 copies. This design has been used in other countries though, and I'll point one out in just a second. It's embossed. You've got the shield there that's embossed. You've got the kind of the border around it. Now, a lot of people complain that with most European steelbooks, you don't have the actual title on the actual steelbook itself, but there's a reason for that. So let me show you the German version. So this is the German version of that same steelbook. Now, it's exactly the same. The actual steelbook itself is exactly the same. Now, the only reason I actually got this was because the actual title here, the German version of the film, is not called Captain America 2. It's simply called The Return of the First Avenger. So it's not even called Captain America. And there was, basically when the first Captain America film came out, there was, you know, some concern that it being such a kind of overly American patriotic kind of character, the Marvel basically gave the option to change the name to various different countries, and a few did. So obviously Germany was one of those takers, I would imagine. So this is literally the same steelbook, but this is why basically you don't get the sort of the kind of title printed on the actual steelbook itself, because they use the same steelbook but just have this kind of the J cards basically different. As you can see, there's kind of the same images on the back, and they really are the same steelbooks. However, the American steelbook, at first glance, may appear to be the same, but it isn't. Look a little bit closer. So this one, the actual title is actually or debossed on the actual cover itself. But that's not the only difference. You probably have to pull up a little bit closer here. The other difference you're going to see here is the helmet is actually on the American version, whilst it's off on the European version. So you've got Captain America, there's locks flowing free on the European version, helmet on the American version. Now the American version was also an exclusive to whatever retailer wasn't doing the exclusive sleeves, either Target or Best Buy, I can't actually remember. And the actual spine, again, is different. It actually says the actual logo. So it is, you know, although it's similar, it is significantly different in my opinion. Righty ho, so this one may look at kind of the same as the one I previously showed you, but this one's actually a exclusive to the Korean retailer Nova Media. And they have a couple of exclusive versions of the Captain America. So let me just show you the other Korean version that I got. So it's the same cover, basically. But what you'll notice here, the size of it. So let me just go to this one. Okay, so this one was actually limited to 1,000 copies. So you'll see there, limited to 1,000 copies. So, you know, fairly scarce. And what you've actually got, you know, I haven't actually seen this steelbook. I assume it's the same sort of steelbook, but you've got some kind of book in there. So say mine's sealed, so I haven't actually opened it up. So this has got quite an obviously different case on the back there. So that's quite cool. So this is actually quite a nice sturdy box. You've obviously got a different kind of back cover there, which is kind of unique to this, I suppose, and a really interesting cover. I have to say I was really pleased with this one. I was kind of toing and froing whether I'd get this or not, because it's kind of, I pretty much got the same cover, but I'm very glad that I did now. It's well made, as I say, sturdy. I really love that particular cover, even though it kind of looks a little bit like the steelbook for the first film. But what you've also got from Nova Media is another version, and this one was limited to just 500 copies worldwide. And this is actually a lenticular sleeve. This is again a steelbook, as you can see here. Let's get the camera right. There you go. So I'm filming this upside down, and this is limited to 500 copies, as you can see there. So again, pretty scarce. This sold out. Well, this Nova Media actually had some problems with their site, so there's a real ball ache having to get this, to be honest, but here it is. But this sold out when it was eventually on sale pretty quickly. And like I said, it's, you know, a pretty decent lenticular sleeve. Some of these lenticular sleeves, I always think, you know, they don't really seem all that 3D, but this one I think really does a pretty decent job of, you know, of looking pretty damn decent, I've got to say. And as a little bonus to this, what they actually sent you was a separate slipcase. So I don't actually know what I'm going to do with this. I actually got two of them because obviously I got 2 copies of the film, and I'm guessing you can put this on instead. It's basically just a kind of clear case with the sort of America sign on the back there, and there you go. So I'm guessing that's meant to just go over the steelbook itself. Don't know, might sell one of these on eBay possibly. But anyway, that's the kind of extra little bonus I got with that. Okay, moving away from some of the newer stuff now. In addition to that, I also picked up quite a nice Spanish steelbook of the Fantastic Four 1 and 2 movies. Now, there's actually, strangely, from Spain, there's actually another kind of steelbook which actually looks a little bit different for this one. So it's strange that one country has got 2 steelbooks of essentially the same thing. That was on my last update, this one. It's quite a heavy steelbook. And you've got both the movies in there. So this is a DVD steelbook rather than a Blu-ray. 4 discs. Because it's 4 discs, it is kind of heavy. A nice kind of matte finish there. Now, you know, people sort of poo-poo DVD steelbooks, but I genuinely think these are going to become more collectible in the future than Blu-rays, because people just ignore them now, and this is how collecting works. So get the Blu-rays. Next up, this is just a standard Amaray case for the Punisher 2004 movie. This is the UK version, but this is actually quite scarce now, to be honest. And it actually goes for a reasonable amount of money. Now, fortunately for me, I actually work in a company where I can pick up things sort of relatively cheap. So I actually managed to get this, you know, I've got Punisher so many times, but I haven't actually got a UK Blu-ray of it. So I thought I'd get this, and there you go. Punisher 2004. Nothing special about it, however. Right, moving back to Spain. And we have another steelbook, which is going to be exclusive to that region. And this is a original Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, DVD steelbook. Now, this design I haven't seen before on a steelbook, and at least a DVD steelbook. So, you know, I was quite pleased to pick this up. And this is a 2-disc one. And this, as far as I know, this particular artwork, at least on Steelbook on a DVD, is exclusive to Spain. This was actually quite a bugger to get hold of, I have to say. This actually took me a little while to get hold of. It's one of these ones that I've been after for a little while, and I finally managed to get my hand on a copy, and I was quite pleased about that. And sadly, my final item, because I did this in alphabetical order, is something quite boring. And this is just going to be, again, where I work, I picked this up because it came pretty cheap. Just a Spiderman 2 Blu-ray, but I got it because it's got the slipcase, basically. This is a re-release version, nothing particularly special anyway. So that really is my update for July to September. Obviously, we'll have another update from at the end of the year, come the end of December. So, you know, hopefully we'll get a few more pickups then. And anyway, let me know what you thought of this particular upgrade or this collection update, and what was your favourite item that I've shown you on this video. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I will look forward to seeing you soon. Bye for now.